Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back. This is going to be attempt number 2 recording this clip because I literally just did the whole thing and didn't push record on the camera. So if it wasn't for you guys, I'd literally be doing this for nothing. I'm going to work on some stuff. I bet you didn't know that yet. I did get the driver's side exhaust and the passenger side exhaust done now. Did the same thing over here. Did some pie cuts, and you can't even see it. Did some pie cuts down and connected it to the factory exhaust. I did weld the EGR hole shut. But what I'm working on today is going to be the oil pan drain. So I just got this dash 10 bung. That's going to be welded in there. And then I found this thing. It's just a cap. So I'm going to weld the bung on there and then put the cap on. That's what I'm going to use for a drain. Pretty cool. And then if I have enough time today, I want to get the engine and transmission out so I can start working on putting the clutch and the slave cylinder and all that junk in there. So we're going to pull the engine out, replace the crank pulley, and I'll be able to put the car pulley on and the water pump and do all that jazz and then put it back in. So what I'd like to do is try to get it to the point where it's in the car and then it's in its final resting place and I don't have to pull it back out. But before we get started, I'm going to go through the normal YouTube mumbo jumbo. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do that. Make sure you hit the little bell notification thingy jiggy so you actually get to see the videos. YouTube doesn't like to show you the videos just because you're subscribed. So you got to get the premium membership and hit the bell. Just do it. Takes a little while to get everything set up. Well, that went well. Trying to hold it down, burning my hand. Working in my favor here. Okay, well here it is, all welded in. It is pretty dirty all the way around. I think where I messed up, and I tried to do everything as decent as I could, got it nice and cleaned and prepared all the metal, used acetone and a brush and everything. And then the thing I forgot to do was clean the tungsten, and I used the same tungsten I was just welding the exhaust with. So I think that kind of started me out in a bad spot there with everything being really dirty. And I could just never really get rid of that peppery junk. But I did go and weld the inside, and that's what the inside looks like. So I didn't even use any filler in that. I just went around it, and I don't know. I mean, you can see quite a big difference from the other side to this side, where this side started with clean tungsten, and I didn't even prepare the metal. I didn't even clean the inside of the metal, brush it or anything. I just had a clean tungsten when I started, so worked a lot better on the inside. And I don't have to worry about it leaking because this is completely sealed and there's some boogers on the outside. And that's the beauty of the channel. I don't have anything to prove and I'm not trying to sell you anything, so you get to see all the little mistakes that I make and maybe I'll figure it out next time. This is where we get to test this exhaust theory. I want to just unbolt the manifolds, and they are on a flex joint, so I want to just push them off to the side and then pull the whole garbage out of there. So I have the motor mount bolts, and I want to leave the transmission connected to the cross member and just unbolt and drop the cross member and pull the whole thing out. So, and I'm pulling the trans out because I feel like it'll be easier to mate it back up outside of the car than do it over here. I'm sure it would be fine, but we'll see. We'll just see. Okay, this is out. Everything's out. So this is so easy. I think it took me less than 10 minutes. Just the motor mount bolts. There was 2 bolts in holding the trans in, and the exhaust bolts. Split these things apart, lift it up high enough, and it just comes right out. You can see it did some work here on that power steering line. Kind of scrunched it a little bit. But I'm going to try to pull that back up. I might actually just replace it. It's just a line from there to there. Maybe I'll just do that. That's probably going to be easier than having to worry about it. Doesn't look like it's too bad, but it is kinked. So that was just from the pan that was hanging down. I didn't realize the pan was hanging down. But anyways, I also have to bend this back down. And see, this is kind of like a nice big hoop. I made a oops, and for some reason, I thought that the jack stand was under here, but it was actually under here. So I went to lower the car down, and I had set it on the jack stand, this part. So yeah, bent that, so I'm gonna have to, I don't know, hit it with a rock or something, bend it back. But oops, whatever. So we're gonna get this thing off, separate the engine from the transmission, and put the clutch and junk on there. I probably might not worry about the crank pulley. I'm undecided if I want to do that while it's out. Maybe it'd be easier because then I can access the flywheel and stuff. Okay, so we got the engine on the stand now. Took the old one off. There's the junker. Took that one off. Split the transmission off. So now what I want to do is get this oil pan off, build the pickup tube. That's what I think I'm settling on, because the one that I bought didn't fit, and I don't feel like going back and forth with the company for $16. So I'm probably going to cut up the pickup tube that I have and make sure it's going to fit inside this pan. I think I'm going to notch this down a little bit so it has a way to drain back, and then I'm going to build a little baffle over the top of here, come out like this with a hole in it, something like that, so I actually have a little bit of a baffle to keep the oil from sloshing around, but it still has a way to drain back. So that'll probably be tomorrow's video. So if I can get the pickup tube done and get the oil pan on the engine tomorrow, I'd be pretty happy with that. Then I just have to throw the clutch and stuff back on, bolt it back up to the transmission. I'm probably gonna like make sure the fluid and stuff is in there. I don't know if it even has fluid in it or not, but I'm gonna check that, make sure I don't forget about that and blow it up right away, and then we'll throw it back in. And then after that, it's really accessory drive and wiring. Then we can hear it run. So I don't know how long that's gonna take, but I do wanna do the power steering pump on there, so I have to make a bracket for the power steering pump. I might worry about the AC later, but I would like to try to get it all in there. But the wife definitely wants power steering in it. I did ask her if we could forego the power steering, and she said no. So we're gonna do power steering pump bracket, but I'll have to make that thing. See you next time.